Hey, friend.
Hey.
Hey, mama. Ooh, a hot mess. Some of us are coming in a little hotter than others.
Hotter. Hmm.
Oh,
I'm
Kelly,
on beach time, babies.
Kelly,
Oh,
we
yeah,
can't
we are on the beach.
see you. You're gonna have to
Let's
flip.
see. I'm gonna turn around.
There you go.
Is that better?
Yeah.
That's
Okay. The sun was behind me.
You're looking
It's
good.
really tragic being down here at North Myrtle Beach right now.
It's a pretty day. It's a really pretty day.
Your hair looks pretty, Meredith.
Thanks. I washed it today.
I washed mine too.
This was wash day.
So how are my favorite mamas doing?
I'm good.
I'm ready for this one to be over.
This Mother's Day to be over?
Uh-huh.
You guys weren't open at the nursery today, were you?
Oh, hell no.
Okay. All right, here comes Dawn.
Well, I'm glad to see y'all. I didn't know if I'd be able to hop on tonight, but one of my children is taking a nappy and the other one is, well, she just walked her grandfather back to the car and yeah, I think she's gonna rest too. Yeah.
Kelly, I have to tell you, I love the side bang.
You love what?
The side bang.
Oh, thank
Looks
you.
like you had a little trim there, maybe. Looks great.
Yeah, I'm trying to get back. Yeah, I've got my sorority swoop again. That's what I like. Thank you.
Excellent.
Oh, I even think
Oh,
uh-oh. Is that me? Is that you?
yeah, it was Dawn.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think we are on Facebook Live.
All right.
Nice
Hello,
job, team.
Facebook.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Uh-oh, Dawn, are you stuck?
She does look stuck. Or she's biting her lip a long time.
You know what?
Oh, gracious.
That's like a true
Excellent.
True
Excellent.
mama
Happy
face.
Mother's Day to each. Hold on.
Hold on.
Am I unstuck yet?
Yeah, you're not biting your lip anymore.
Oh no, she's stuck
Oh,
again.
she's still stuck. No.
You know, we can't make this up. And yeah.
Still stuck?
Nope, now you're back.
Back?
Yeah.
You
That's
better.
gravy.
Here you are.
Okay. I usually have to hop off of Wi-Fi. This time I had to hop onto it. Don't ask.
Well,
Yes. Well,
yeah.
anyway, without further ado, thank you all for joining us. So I have to apologize. I am literally just coming back in from being outside, and we're like putting new nesting boxes in the chicken coops and all sorts of good stuff. So as I was taking my hair down from my ponytail, I found, pieces of pine needles and all sorts of good stuff in there. So
Well, there's that.
there's that, right? Awesome. Shocking. So thank you all for hopping on tonight. We really don't have much of an agenda tonight, right? And we were talking about this every week. We hop on and we do this chit chat at 7 p.m. on Sundays. And the topic is a little bit different. And I have to tell you, it is very organic, the way that this comes up. So oftentimes we'll have, or sometimes I should say, not even often, we will have a topic that is on our heart or on our mind that we feel like needs to be addressed, right? And that's a little bit different every week. And we are a really good collaboration because we have Lisa, that is the super organized one, that's like, okay, squirrels, let's focus here for a minute. And the rest of us are just kind of like, hey, what about this? What about this? Oh, I might be there. I might not be, right? But it all works. Every single time it works. And I feel like part of the reason for that is because we just mesh so well. It's like, I don't know, I'm dating myself now, but there used to be a show called The Odd Couple where it was, Lisa knows this at least, right?
I'm old enough.
Yes, right? No, no, I knew you wouldn't, Meredith.
Meredith's like, what are you talking about? Yeah.
But it was, like this super sloppy guy and this super type A guy, and they lived together, and it was like the most unlikely of pairings, but somehow they just made it work. And I feel like that is what we do. It is the Hot Mess Express, but it always pulls into station on time, right?
Well,
So,
maybe a minute or two late,
well,
like-
that's true. That
We're
is
on
true.
the right track. I mean, we're usually on the same track. So in the
Exactly.
in the right direction, whether we get there on time or not.
Right, right. Absolutely. We may be running across the platform, jumping into the car at the last moment. But so tonight we don't really have an agenda. And it's funny, when we all first met, the four of us have all been with Green Compass for 5 years now. And so we kind of consider ourselves the OGs because we have watched people in this business come and go. And some people have come like they've come in hot. They wanted to do big things with this. They had this amazing story. They were really passionate about it. And then they got like their first couple of no's, or their best friends didn't join them in business, or things like that. And it just really took the wind out of their sails. And they decided, nope, this isn't working. Nobody wants to listen to me, right? Nobody wants to buy my CBD, whatever it is. And then you have other people that have come into this business really hot that are kind of like serial network marketers, right? Who jump from one shiny object to another and come to this company because they see the greatness, they see the potential, they see our company stats, which have always been very consistent and very impressive. The growth has been exponential, far greater than any of us ever imagined, honestly. And then they see the next shiny object and they go chase after that. So we talk about this often. The four of us have kind of had these ebbs and flows, these ups and downs in our business, in our team business, in our personal business. And it's funny because we have always, I'm not sure that any one of us has ever really considered just washing our hands of this and walking away. There may have been times where it felt like, oh boy, this really is a job, right? Or I'm wrangling squirrels with my team or what have you. But it's the passion and the love of the product and the people that keep all four of us here, at least, right? So we were all at our leadership conference in January, and they started to say, stand up if you've been with the company for 6 months, and 6 months or more. So pretty much the whole room stood up. And then they went right on through. And when they got to 5 years, like basically since the company launched, or at least within a couple of months, the number of people in that room that were standing was very small. But our team, meaning like our leg of Green Compass, had the most longevity. And I don't think that that's by accident. I think that truly we are leading with our hearts, and we all have a very similar like-mindedness in the sense that we're passionate, we have servant hearts, and we really do believe in this company, the people that run it, and the potential and the direction that we're going. So it is funny to see how, in the most unlikely of circumstances, the four of us really would have no way of knowing each other outside of this business. And even within the walls of this business, we're on the same greater team, but we are not sidelines at all, meaning like my business, whether it does good or bad, does not affect anybody else, and vice versa. So it's funny to see how we have just kind of gravitated towards each other. And I love that. I love that sisterhood that we really have formed, and it's been cumulative over time. It wasn't instant. We have all pretty much known each other or known of each other since the very first, 6 months into it, I would say. But getting to really know these ladies has been truly an honor to me. And I thank God every day that you all have come into my life. So before I get all sappy and smushy and squishy and all that good stuff, does anybody else want to chime in?
It's funny, Dawn. So first of all, not often do you get mushy and smushy on us. So
I don't.
you usually are the one who pulls us back, and like, okay, come on, enough crying.
Yeah.
But I was just thinking as you were talking, I think, and maybe some of you have a better memory than me. I think the very first time we actually really all got to know each other was we had an event I don't know, was it the cruise to nowhere because we all earned the cruise and we didn't
Clearwater?
go?
Isle of Palms.
Yeah.
Nope. So I
No.
wasn't at Isle of
I wasn't
Palms.
either.
Nope. I was
That's where I
spending,
met you, Dawn.
but
Right,
but
right.
it was when Jenny was serving us lemonade at the pool and we all
Yep.
did the sunset cruise. Where was
Oh,
Yeah.
that?
yes.
That was
That was it. That was
in,
at Wrightsville Beach.
yeah,
Yes.
That was the cruise.
yeah.
That was the cruise to nowhere. That
Yeah.
we went to Wrightsville Beach and we stayed at Blockade Runner or something like that. And
Yes.
we did the sunset cruise. That was like a real bonding night. I remember that so well.
Yeah. I mean, and I just remember I didn't know anybody. And to show up there was there was a lot of anxiety that went along with that. And it was funny because I remember sitting at a table with Meredith and Philip. And there was a couple other of us and we were sitting around the pool having drinks. And it was like, so I'm not gonna lie, I was a little starstruck because Meredith was like killing her business. And I was like, who is that? And how come I'm here with her?
Well, it's so funny because the first conference that we had, you walked the stage, and
Mhm.
I'll never forget seeing you walk across the stage because you're tall and I'm short, and I being the short person, I noticed the tall people. I mean, my husband's really tall. So there was this tall, short-haired blonde that struts across the stage, and I was like, why'd she get a one award and I didn't get anything? Now I'm not walking across the thing. And I just like the first, so I am terrible with first impressions. And my
Yeah.
first impression of Lisa 100% was not right. But she's got the same introductory method that I have. She's just very straight faced and very stoic.
Yeah.
And, probably that irritated me a little bit because I'm the same way. That's how that happens.
Sure.
But then fast forward and we were sitting at the table together and you're starstruck by me. But here I was earlier in Vegas, like, who is she? Like, why is she,
She thinks she is.
yeah. And so, yeah, that's funny.
Oh
Mhm.
my gosh. But it's just, it's so interesting because for as different as we all are, because I think we all have been brought up different. We all live our lives differently. We all parent differently.
Mm.
We all have extremely different backgrounds. I just find it interesting that for whatever reason, we all just, I don't know, there was just like a magnet that just always pulled us together. I don't,
And it is really odd because even though our branches literally connect to the same person at the very top, we are all technically in completely different legs.
right,
If you know what I'm talking about, if you know anything about MLM, you know that. Like, they're sideline partners. But I don't know that I have ever heard anybody have a situation similar to ours yet. And they might be out there. I just might not know about them. But, you know, none of us benefit from anything from the other, you know, because we're nowhere on each other's legs. We're nowhere on each other's team. And so to, you know, I think part of the reason why MLM gets a bad rap is because even though there's this boss babe clique, you know, woman empowerment energy and stuff like that, there's a dark side, and it can be clicky, you know, it honestly, and I know that there's a lot of people who have experienced that, and that's the reason why they are not a fan of MLMs and network marketing, because they've seen the ugly side of it. And I get it. I mean, I think some of us have not necessarily full-blown experienced that, but we've experienced some of it.
Right.
But you know, in any profession, there's going to be some cattiness, whether it's male or female, it doesn't matter. You know, there's just feelings there, they're involved, but um, that's just not, it's not here. Like it's, you know, if they're winning better than I'm winning because I'm happy for them. And that's how literally everybody else in this company is. I mean, I've had a couple of conversations back and forth with some higher ups this week. You know, we've had a lot of stuff going on within our organization. Lindsay Petty just built her dream home. And I know there's been a lot of conversation back and forth. You know, people saying, you know, congratulations, and you have worked your butt off for the last 5 years. You built and amassed a huge empire. Ashley Shower, who we've watched since she
Yay, she just had her baby.
has walked through, you know, the bellies of hell with infertility, and she had her baby on Friday, and everybody is just giving her huge amounts of congratulations, and we're just so literally happy for you. You know, we saw it with Amber Andrews and Erica Helms both, whenever they went through and dealt with some huge, big, um, scary moments involving their children, and literally again were staring down the barrel of terminal illness situations with their children, and a lot across all the lines in the company. I'll never forget Erica when everybody joined together one night from the whole company to pray for her son, to cover Canaan in prayer, and that was an extremely moving event for, you know, the founders of a company to get on a Zoom call with you to pray for your child, and then everybody across all the lines, it didn't matter what branch of the company that we were in, it was a family. It was a whole family unit. And that whole family unit, although a lot of us didn't help each other financially because of the way it's structured, but we do help each other because just like what we're doing here, we're all across different lines. Um,
Well, and
but
Meredith, I
throwing
think
support. It's always throwing support, no matter where you're at in the Green Compass umbrella. It comes
yeah,
from.
you know, I I can just speak honestly. Right. So last week I reached out to ladies and I'm like, oh my gosh, I need what are you guys doing on Sunday night after our call? Because I needed was looking for a little bit of support in my team because I had a bunch of new people that were joining, right? And each one of you have very, very busy lives. And you could have very easily said, Lisa, you know what, I'm busy. But each one of you said, oh my gosh, I'll be there. What can I do for you? What can I do? What can I do to help you? And you all sat on that call and you helped train my team, right? It had nothing to do with financially for Kelly or for Meredith or for Dawn or any of the people on your team. You just reached out out of the kindness of your heart to just share because that's what we do. And I think that is so poignant. Kelly, do you have service or are you
It's in and out.
Okay.
I keep getting kicked off. I'm at the beach. It's windy here. I don't know.
Okay.
if y'all. Hopefully, I'm not frozen.
No.
But I was just thinking about that. So I have a teammate who is in Jacksonville, where Meredith lives, and her direct sponsor is in Tampa, Florida. So she's a couple of layers, below me in the organization. And I think that's what's so cool about this, what is so different and unique about our group. We really are we are a full team, even though like Meredith doesn't benefit from my friend Jen's financial success or anything like that, but she has just been instrumental in, hey, I'm doing this event. Feel free to collab with me, invite your people, all that. And it is so inclusive, and it's like we all win by supporting each other. And is the rising tide lifts all boats, right? And that's the thing about our group. We are not clicky, and we are the land of misfit toys. I always say that there's a place for everybody. This table is round and it is big, and there's always room for another seat. And I don't know, I just feel like we're the most inclusive, genuine bunch of people who I've ever had the pleasure of aligning with. And I mean that really from the bottom of my heart. I was just thinking the other day that in my real estate career, I work from home. I'm a team of one. I have some other friends who are local who are also, realtors like with my company, and others who are with different companies who very much like Green Compass, like we don't impact each other as like financially, but we support each other. But this company has just been so instrumental over the past 5 years between, the lockdown of the world, just so many things that helped me to stay plugged in, to feel connected to other friends, other people who are going through life, regardless of our age or stage, where we are, like with our parenting or whatever. um, just recognize we all have our own challenges. And like I said, like with my real estate business, it can be very, very lonely because I don't go into an office every day. So I don't have like that built-in support system. But I know that the three of you are literally a text or a phone call away, whether it's something good I want to share or something that's just really challenging at that time. And just
And there she goes.
Oh, she was just getting to the good part. Well, I will second that notion. Kelly,
okay,
you got kicked
that,
off
that, that
there.
was my cue to like pull me off. Like that was my
Shepherd's
shepherd
hook.
hook.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, when I first started here, I am not a salesperson, right? That was kind of what I kept saying. I'm never selling this because I love the products and everyone needs to know about it. But just so you know, I'm never selling this. And I earnestly meant that because in my preconceived notion, or my preconceived biases, which are never good, was that you had to be this scammy, smarmy, like a used car salesman, right? And I hate that. You ask anybody, I will drive a car until the wheels fall off of it because I hate that process of going in and buying a car. I hate being sold to. And I think I took part of my like PTSD from those type of scenarios that I've been through and applied this, wrongfully so, applied it to what we do or to sales in general. And it's the funniest thing because I have people say to me all the time, I'm not a salesperson. And I'm like,
Sure.
neither am I. Okay. So trust me, if I can do this and do it well, you can do it and do it well. We all come into this world with the same set of advantages. But when I first stepped forward, because for months and months, I did nothing with this business except for excitedly told the closest people around me about it so that they could benefit, not so that I could benefit, so that they could benefit. Because once you start to use a product and or see the people that you love benefit from something, you are obligated. I was morally obligated to share this with people so that they could feel better and live better too. So when I first started this, that's truly all it was. And, you know, I have to tell you, my first commission check was, you couldn't even, I haven't been to McDonald's in years, but I'm assuming you probably couldn't even get a value meal now for what my very first month's commission check was. And then the next month was like, well, maybe you could get 2 value meals, right? Or something like that, right? It was like under $20 for sure. And then it grew slowly and grew slowly. And then it really started to grow because other people saw the excitement. They gave it a shot and they saw the benefits. And then our team literally exploded. And I thought that when I first came into this, my very first conference was anybody else at Summer Summit the very first year? Yes, right?
I literally joined the company a week before that.
Right. And it was actually in Charlotte, which is
It
probably why
was,
you went, right?
it was.
And I remember going and feeling so completely intimidated because I felt like everybody there, I called them the pretty people, right? Like everybody was 5'8" and 115 pounds and had like the perfect outfits on and just very put together. And these ladies know me. And if anybody knows me personally, none of that is me. Like that is just, I was just telling them when we hopped on, I'm probably pulling like pine needles. Oh, look at, I have pine needles in my hair actually as we speak because I
She's
am an
also
outdoors girl.
she's also the girl who packs in her soft side cooler. She uses that as her suitcase. That is like, so just in case anybody needs to know, that is brilliant. I really
Right.
picked on her for that, but it is brilliant.
It's funny until you need a cooler and you're on the road now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. But this is it. It's like, you know, I was looking at all these people like, oh boy, like I do not fit in, right? It's like Sesame Street, I think. One of these things doesn't belong here. And I felt like, whoop, that is me.
Yeah.
But I just ran with it because realistically, it's kind of funny because now our team up back at home, like in Massachusetts, we're kind of all like that, you know? It truly is the land of the misfit toys. So my weirdo shines bright so that all of the other weirdos will know where I am, right? And that's kind of how I roll in life. It's like, bring me you're sick, you're poor, you're whatever, right? Like, we will work with anybody who wants to work,
Yeah.
and wants to share and wants to help people. You know, that really is the big thing.
Well, I
So,
think we've all said this. Each one of us, we've said this for so many years, whether it was our teenage years, our young adult years, our young mama years, wherever that was at. We all went through the time of we never felt like we fit in wherever we were. And and that's hard when you're, I'm sure it's hard for the men too, but it's hard as a female. We're so hard on ourselves anyway, thinking we don't have the right whatever, you know, I don't have the right earrings on or whatever. And for whatever reason, we all jumped into this and it was all different reasons. But I think each one of us has said, especially now at the time we are in our lives, I'm gonna be honest, when my kids all like graduated from high school, I ended up with like 0 friends left because they were all my kids' parents, right? So I didn't have a lot of friends. And coming into this, I really wasn't looking for friends. I wasn't looking for women to hang out with because I had never had that. And when I had tried that, it was very uncomfortable and it was very fake and it was very superficial. And I think each one of us have said on more than one occasion that we now feel like we truly belong. And that is so refreshing. It is so calming of the heart. It is so the weight off your shoulders. And it is just, you know, I don't know what I would do without this group. You see me at my highest highs and whoo, my lowest lows. And I don't know if it's because we all have a passion toward the same thing that makes us all be so much more comfortable to be vulnerable with each other, which then in turn allows us to be vulnerable to others, to welcome them in. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I don't know.
Well, I would just like,
Go
oh,
ahead.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Kelly.
Yeah, while I have a signal, I was just going to say that if something were to happen with our company, if Green Compass were to fall away tomorrow, which I know it's not going to, but I know that we would be friends for life with or without this company, you know, that's like the cohesion of what brought us together in the first place. You know, I met Dawn at the Olive Palms retreat. It was a, you know, an earned leadership thing like early on. I think it was the first year. And I just loved her right away. She and my friend Jenny had like a common connection around the farm and, you know, the wedding venue and all that stuff. Meredith, I remember meeting her for the first time in Vegas in that suite that we had earned the thing. And I'll be honest, like I saw you and I was like, who is she? Like she is just drop dead gorgeous, like, you know, the dress cut down to there. And yeah, but you know what I mean? Like just all the preconceived ideas that we have about each other, right? And I don't know. It's just so amazing how I just feel like we've all been brought together for such a big purpose. But I know that like I mean, y'all are stuck with me for life. So just that's it.
Same.
Yeah. I knew when I brought Philip to a couple of the different things, and like we all got in the cab together, Dawn, me, you, and I think your sister, and we
Yes.
went and walked and did like the ghost tour downtown in Charleston, and then we went to this little Irish pub thing, and Philip, I think, sat next to Dawn. And they sat there like 2 girls, and I'm sitting there thinking, "Philip does not talk to people. He doesn't. He's always been super quiet, and even now he still is, of course, but, for him to, like, really open up and interact with somebody on the, you know, primary initial, like, first kinda meeting you type situation, I was like, okay, well, he must really like her because he just doesn't. And so then also the sitting down at the table with Lisa and Mark, and same thing. I mean, Philip just completely carried on conversation with Mark like it was no big deal. And of course, all going to the incentive trips and just watching all the guys together in the pool, and they just sit there and giggle like a bunch of schoolgirls and talk about stuff like that fills my heart because I feel like not only have I made some really cool friends in this business, but Philip has also gained some friends in this business. And that makes things honestly a lot easier, when your spouse is totally okay with going and doing all these things that you're doing all the time, which quite frankly, it does take up some time. And sometimes it takes up some time from your family. I mean, but Philip has gone with me on some of these trips and he doesn't bark about it because he enjoys the company of the people that are there. And he uh, has a really good BS meter. And so if he is not into the people that he's around, he will very, very admittedly look at me and say, I'm good. I don't want to go back. But he continues to come, and he doesn't bark about it, and he engages, and he doesn't do that with people that like to feed a lot of lines. He's not into fake conversation. So that to me spoke very big volumes early on. And it's just a testament to what we have going on here. These are no BS people. Our meters for that are also very low. They will shoot it to you straight. They will be 100% honest. We are all mission driven. And if what you're looking for isn't necessarily aligned with the vision that we hold along with Green Compass, then we'll tell you that. I mean, I have people all the time that come up to me and say stuff about Delta 8, and I'm like, that's not what we do. We're into health and wellness. We're into medicinal benefit. We're not into recreational use. And if that's what you want, then fine. I mean, we've got a lot of recreational users in the organization as well. However, our mission, our sole mission is health and wellness and getting down to root causes and reasons of why people are dealing with the things that they're dealing on a daily basis. And these people will tell you the honest God's truth, whether that might hurt a little bit sometimes. We're not used car salesmen, like what Dawn said. And I think that's what has attracted us, because we all have that same mentality. It's about the mission. It's not about the sale.
And it's interesting, but by pure coincidence, the four of us have actually all done quite well in our business as well, right? Our personal business, our team volume, things like that. Comparatively speaking, I mean, we have higher ups that don't hit the people that are really high up in the company that don't hit the same personal volume as us. And that just goes to show you that every single person that comes into this company has an equal opportunity to meet and or exceed what the people above them are doing. There is no limit on this. It is truly up to you to do what you choose with this. But if you want to do great things, it's very easy and it is very tangible. And it simply involves just opening your mouth.
Yeah.
And sharing.
I don't want to say it's easy per se. It's simple.
Well, it's simple.
It takes work.
Yes.
It takes work, but it's very simple to follow.
Yeah, it's duplicatable, right?
Yeah.
And really what it is, I mean, Dawn, you had said it that, people come in and they're like, oh, I'm not salesy. When I have people tell me that, I'm like, oh, thank you. Because let me just tell you, if I catch you being salesy when I'm in a conversation with you, you're going to get the mama look.
Yeah.
Because it's not who I am. When I share with somebody, I share with them like they're my best friend. I would never recommend somebody, like, I don't know, buy 17 products when I really think only one is what they need. I just would never do that. I'm laughing because as Meredith is talking about Philip, Mark is very similar, right? And it's funny because yes, when we just all went to the Dominican, I did not earn it for two, I earned it for one. And Mark knew that some of you guys were going and that your significant others were going to be there. And it made him feel very comfortable because he knew I wouldn't just be in a foreign country alone, right? That there would be another man figure, whatever we all think of that, right? To the kind of look out for me. Now, I'm not going to lie. I think if Philip wouldn't have been there, I'd still be stuck there because for God's sakes, I couldn't find the right pool. I couldn't find a hamburger, but that man, he made sure I knew what pool we were in. And if I couldn't find it, he'd come find me. And he saw what happens when us girls have too many beverages in the pool and don't have hamburgers. So this year he made sure that we had something to eat. So I mean, Mark really appreciated, right? Mark would have loved to have been there, but he really appreciated that it wasn't just girls gone wild, right? That there, yes, we had a lot of fun, but that there was a man there to make sure I didn't get lost. I mean, I'm just calling a spade a spade.
Not to mention, I'm pretty sure Meredith would have kicked someone's butt for you too, if need so.
Well, she was usually like riding a unicorn or something, so.
That wasn't me. That was y'all. Y'all were on the
You-
unicorn llama.
Lisa and
Look
I
at,
may or
oh,
may
there's
not have
Aaron.
been in a
Look,
flight
there's
together.
Aaron. She's cracking up
Aaron.
because she was there riding the
Oh,
unicorn llama.
God, I love you guys.
So,
God,
you
I
know,
love you.
every time I get on these things with you guys, I think about, right, when I first started my business, yes, a lot of my besties joined with me, and oh my gosh, it was so fun. But when I look at my business now, my besties aren't, uh-oh, hey Chase, my besties aren't there, right? They maybe opted to go a different direction, maybe went and jumped for something else shiny, maybe didn't just, it wasn't what they looked for. My business is really built on, if I really look at it, it's people I didn't know 5 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that's something to be said, that like minds find like minds.
I do.
And I don't know. I don't know if you guys, if your businesses are the same. Just
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
When I first started, when I first actually started to participate in the business, I hit senior team leader within 2 months, and it was harder to hit it back then.
Yes.
BP
yeah,
dubs.
yeah. It
Um,
was.
and hit director by September of that year. And that honestly, just not for nothing, but it was in the midst, and we might have touched on this before, but my dad had been terminally ill for a long time, like 2 years before he passed. So basically, I had a not even 2-year-old at home. I had a dad who was terminally ill. I was working full time still at the hospital, and still managed to go through the ranks and hit director the month that he passed away, as a matter of fact. And it was, I think that scenario, that coincidence is not lost on me. I know that there's, he was probably there rooting for me too. But it, we can do hard things in this life. And I think sometimes we allow our reasons to be our excuses, right? So to me, losing him and going through that process that last year with him was, it really left an impact on me. And what it made me think in my heart is, I am never going to miss these opportunities, right? Like, I have 2 kids that I missed out on so much of their life when they were little, 2 bigger kids. Because I was working constantly. And by that, I mean like at a hospital away from them. I couldn't see them. I couldn't pause what I was doing and go help them with their homework or different things, right? There were days that I might not see my kids for pretty much days at a time, because I would work the night shift, and I would have to come right home from work, go sleep in a garage so that they wouldn't see me before they got on the school bus. They would go off to school. I would have to sleep in a garage with literally a lawnmower on a pull-out couch so I could try to get a little bit of rest. They'd come home from school, or if they had a sport afterwards or something, I was like missing them because I needed to rest and kind of get things going. Or I might see them for like a couple of hours in a day. I never wanted to do any of that again. And that, I think, everybody pulls from life different threads of their life experience. And this truly has been something that has given me the option to say, no, I'm not going to do that again. I have the flexibility now that if I need to, like this past summer, my father-in-law, who is very near and dear to me, one of my best friends, terminally ill very quickly. And because I now work 2 days a week at the hospital, I took a leave of absence from the hospital, and I still had Green Compass, right? So I could still work my business to some degree, still get my paycheck, and be present for the people that needed me. And that was a big lesson that I had to learn the hard way with my dad. And I think we've seen a lot of us, we've referenced a couple of times, women on our teams who had children that were literally terminally ill that could have taken that turn in the snap of a finger, and they were able to be at their kids' bedside. So there's so many components to all of this that I feel like we'd be remiss if we didn't share the nitty-gritty things, the details like this, because it's not a typical 9 to 5. It's not a typical gig. Listen, yes, you have to participate in your business, but there's no CBD emergencies, right? So if something comes up and you need to take your child to the doctors or, attend parent conference or little things like that, you have that flexibility to be able to do that, to hit the pause button for right now and do the things that are truly of value for the people that are truly of value.
Mm. Preach.
Yep.
Wow.
But
I've never heard of, I've
It
never
allows
heard
us
you
to
say
really
that,
be fully
Dawn.
present.
The no CBD emergencies, that's
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
coming from a business owner standpoint of view, that is a big deal. And you coming from an on-call nurse type situation, that's a big deal, because I feel like 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, it doesn't matter whether the office is actually closed or not, something always hits off hours, always. So
Right. You could have a security alarm go off in the middle of the night on a Tuesday. You've got to be there, right, for your brick and mortar.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about you all, but it is Mother's Day. We've been on for about 45 minutes, and I love this, and I would love to keep chatting, but I don't want to take up all the other moms'
No.
time, or dads, or whoever's listening in. But I think this has been awesome. I do truly, I'm not going to get smushy, but I love you all, honestly. And I do thank God every day that you've been in my life. But I need to go take a shower and get the pine needles out of my hair now.
Oh my gosh, it's so fun. Happy Mother's Day, everybody. I wish you all a good rest of the night, and I love you all.
Love you.
Love you.
Thank you.
Very thankful for you.
Bye.
Good night.